Welcome back to La La Land on CRN Digital Talk. I am Brett Chapin. That is James Mooney over there.
Hi, everyone.
We're talking with two guests today. First, we are going to be talking to publicist Ken Werther, and after that, we're going to be talking to Mr. Michael Noah Levine, creative artist. And if you have any questions for either one of them, make sure you give us a call at 1-800-336-2225. 1-800-336-2225. And actually, before we even get started, I should mention that I just got a call from Daisy Egan, and you got a text from her.
I did,
told us.
Do you want the number?
I have it here.
Oh, you do?
You guys, Daisy's performing tomorrow night at Kritzerland over at the Federal in North Hollywood. And Michael Sterling, who produces that, has put a deal out for our listeners. The first 10 listeners that call are going to get in for free.
Whoa.
Not bad,
right? That's good.
That's pretty cool.
Call 818-754-8700, 818-754-8700. Mention La La Land, and the first 10 listeners.
I know, I was just on the phone with them.
Will get in for free.
And if you've never seen Daisy perform, you need to run.
Run, yes. Call now.
Yeah, she's awesome. That's why she's not here today. She's actually at a rehearsal for them. And she's got a show tomorrow night, so we're looking forward to it.
Cool.
Yeah. But getting to our guests today, Mr. Ken Werther. Ken is a publicist, Los Angeles theater publicist. He does publicity for a lot of other things as well. And this is his second appearance on the show.
Yay.
Thank you so much for joining us. And Ken, I would also kind of consider a producer on that show because he was very generous with supporting our last Indiegogo account.
Which you should all immediately go to that address that Brett just gave and give us money.
Oh, you must mean Indiegogo.com/La La Land Talk Season 2.
That's the one.
Nice.
That's the
plug.
one.
We're talking about it.
Shameless. We are
See,
shameless.
this is why he's the publicist.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much, Ken.
Absolutely.
But let's talk about you. How did you first kind of get involved in being a publicist for those listeners that didn't hear you on your last visit?
Well, I grew up in Boston.
Mm-hmm.
I always knew that I wanted to be in the show business, but I didn't know what I wanted to be. I wasn't like all my friends who either wanted to be a director or a writer or an actor or, whatever it was. Mm-hmm. And then I won't bore you with all the, stupid details, but publicity kind of found me. It wasn't something I set out to do, believe it or not. And it turned out I was good at it. And I told people, right after I got to LA, I was working in a television production publicity office, and I told people that I wanted to work in the theater, and they all looked at me like I had two heads. They were like, why did you come to Los Angeles if you want to work in the theater? And
why don't you want to be in New York?
Exactly. Yeah. And I said, well, there's this issue of snow and ice and freezing cold weather, which I had grown up in and really didn't want anymore.
Yeah.
And I was really lucky. When I got here, the smaller theater boom was just starting. And within 2 years, I was working in the theater, and not even in a small one. The very first thing I worked on in L.A. on the stage was the first L.A. production. It wasn't a national tour. It was mounted specifically for L.A. of the 1980 production of 42nd Street, which played in L.A. for a year.
Awesome.
And suddenly there I was working on a Broadway musical when everybody laughed at me. I was like, ha ha.
You proved them wrong.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's just sort of gone from there.
Now, do you feel that LA can sustain a theater community?
Absolutely.
Good question.
So why don't we have like long-term shows that live here?
Well, I feel like
I'd go.
Well,
I go all the time.
Me too. Obviously, I guess.
Yeah.
But I sort of
Well, you get
whether
paid to
I
be
want.
there.
Nowadays people ask me to go to the theater, and I say, "Oh, please don't make me." It's my feeling that after all my years of doing this is that the main difference between Los Angeles and New York is geographical. It's the way it's the way the landscape is laid out. Mm-hmm. When you're in New York City, at 7:45 at night, if you live on 94th Street, you can hop on a subway and in 5 minutes be in Times Square, get a ticket, and go to see a show.
Right.
If you're sitting in your living room at 7:45 in Los Angeles and you decide, it's Friday or it's Saturday or it's any night, and you decide you want to go to the theater, You can't do that.
So it's too much of an event.
It's too much of a thing.
Yeah.
You've got to get the tickets. You've got to get in the car. You have to, if you're not single like me and you're dealing with kids, you have to get a babysitter and
You have to park.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you have to pay to park. You have to pay to eat. And so my feeling has always been that if people who aren't regular theater goers like us if you could get them into the theater and they don't have a good time, they're never coming back. That's my theory, because it's cost them a lot of money to sit there and go, I'd rather be watching TNT.
Well, obviously, I mean, then we can't change the geography of LA. So what can we do in LA to improve
To
upon
make it
that, do you
easier
think?
for people to get there?
Yeah.
Well, I think there's more of a theater-going audience in Los Angeles than most people believe. I think that, the LA Times hosted a forum, if you will, almost a year ago during the Theater Communications Group annual conference, which was held in LA. So the LA Times hosted this forum on the name of the seminar, if you will, was "Is LA a theater town?"
Mm-hmm.
That is a question that I am so sick of hearing personally. And it was interesting because they had various sort of theater muckies. They had Sheldon Epps from the Pasadena Playhouse, Michael Ritchie from Center Theater Group. They had Tim Robbins representing the Actors Gang, et cetera, et cetera. And so the moderator opened the conversation by asking, so what do we think? Is LA a theater town? And Sheldon Epps became my hero of the year when he picked up the microphone to answer and said, well, I think the first thing we need to do is stop asking that question.
So what
That's
can
a
we
good
do
answer,
then?
yeah.
If LA is a theater town,
I don't know that you have to be identified as a theater town to make good theater and get people to come see it. See, I have another little theory that's hardly scientific, and that is that if you give people something they want to see, they'll come.
Right.
So
That's really the difficulty, is that there's so much stuff out there and so much stuff that isn't very good.
Right.
That it's hard to get people in to see the good stuff. Not that, listen,
Unless
out there,
it's like a
don't,
Lion King or something that
Well,
has
right.
a proven record, people won't go to it.
Well, that's true. I think the larger theaters in town, the Pantages, the Omens, and that kind of thing, that's kind of a different audience. I think largely it's an older audience than what you see at the 99-seat and smaller houses. But at the same time, I sort of feel like, well, just to give you another example, more to what you're saying is when Jersey Boys played at the Amundsen in 2007, it played for 4 months, and the tickets were $110. And the thing was completely sold out for 4 months. Again, give people something they want to see.
And they'll come. Yeah.
So you're saying what we can do to improve the quality of theater in LA or get more butts in seats is to just improve the quality of theater?
Well, yeah, I guess I kind of am saying that. I'll probably be assassinated as soon as I leave the studio. But
it makes sense. You gotta have a quality products for people to come out.
Exactly right.
Guys, make sure you give us a call at 1-800-336-2225. That's 1-800-336-2225. Talk to the great publicist, Mr. Ken Werther, and find out information about him at kenwerther.com. That's WERTHER. And we'll be back on La La Land with Brett and James on CRN Digital Talk. Welcome back to La La Land on CRN Digital Talk. I am Brett Chapin. That is James Mooney.
Hello, everybody.
We're
having a great
making
time
him
here.
laugh.
I know. We're going to save it for the show, boys.
Totally.
Who are we talking to? We're talking to publicist Ken Werther and creative artist / performer Michael Noah Levine. Michael, you're too loud. Just settle
I know
down.
he
all right?
talks so
You
much.
just-
No, can't get a word in.
Jeez.
And we're going to be back to talk to Michael in the next segment, but finishing up with Ken Werther. We were talking about some of the things that Los Angeles theaters and producers can do to improve the quality of theater in LA. And
Yeah.
you said
And what you were telling me before about the great production of Color Purple.
Yes.
I think that's something that people should go and see.
Yes.
I'm excited to see it now.
Well, I'll tell you, the thing, and by the way, people, I am not actually representing this show. I know a lot of people involved with it, but regardless of that, if I had just gone to see it, I would want to be sitting here talking to you about it, because it is.
And that's the best endorsement.
Well, I thank you. I think
It is.
No, I'm kidding. I mean, yes,
It is. I have absolutely nothing to do with this program, but you should still go see it.
Absolutely. It is so beautiful, and it is remarkable what they have achieved in a 65-seat space. It's kind of ridiculous, actually. And I guess the reason that in terms of what we were talking about a second ago, you cannot get a ticket to see this show. Everyone's always talking about, and I myself obviously too, all the shows that I work on that get good notices, that we feel like have good word of mouth, and we can't get people to buy a ticket.
Yeah.
Now, conversely, I've worked on shows that got lousy reviews, but the audiences are loving them, and the tickets are flying out the door.
Yeah.
And Brett and I first met last year when I was working on a show called Caught, that was supposed to run for 7 weeks and ran for 9 months.
Excellent.
Because for the first 7 months, it was completely sold out, every single performance in an 84-seat house. So things do hit. You know what I mean? And my struggle in my professional world is, after all my years of doing this, sometimes, most of the time, I still can't tell you why something goes or doesn't go unless it's as obvious as a rave review. Just to give you a quick, I know we don't have a lot of time, but the last line of the LA Times review of The Color Purple said something about the intimate theater scene and how sometimes there's way more beautiful stuff going on than in the larger theaters. And the last line said, La Mirada, Pantage's Center Theater Group, are you watching?
Well, that's cool.
And everybody was like, whoa.
Yeah.
And
calling them out. Yeah.
And by the next day, the next 3 weekends were completely sold out. So, when it all comes together like you always hope it will, it's like a runaway train.
Yeah.
But it's, unfortunately, it's rare. More often you're struggling, not that everything's, God knows, a bomb, but you're constantly struggling to get people in to see things. Listen, I like to think, right? I mean, I like to think that the shows that I work on are all quality.
Yeah.
Well, sometimes it doesn't turn out that way. Fortunately for me, the press knows I didn't make the show. I'm just, getting paid, hopefully, to provide a service to the show. But when I've got something really great, in fact, I'm working on a show right now called The Bewildered Herd, which is at the Greenway Court Theater. When Brett and James and I were talking about this before the show, I forgot all these titles.
I've got The Pedestrian and Aftershock.
Yeah, after. Yeah, really. Yeah, we'll talk about those next time.
Okay.
This play, The Bewildered Herd, is a new American play. This is a world premiere. Really interesting subject matter. Really fabulous cast of 5. Beautifully directed. Now, of course, this is my personal opinion. I'll give you that. Everything is terribly subjective in this world. But the reviews were very lukewarm. And even though, after all my years, I still say to producers, you just don't know what the critics are going to do.
Yeah.
You just don't know. I was still surprised by these reviews, because when I saw the play, I thought, whoa.
So now you can be shocked.
Now we're talking.
Is that still running, or?
It is. It's actually running 2 more weekends until the 20th of May, actually.
Yes.
It's at the Greenway Court Theater on Fairfax, just up the street from Cantor's Deli.
Ooh, love it.
So, so I
Dinner
highly
and a show,
recommend
people.
that. Yeah.
Nice.
I
Talk about making theater easy.
Well,
park at Cantor's and then walk up the streets.
Hey, you know what? Speaking of parking, free parking.
Oh,
right next to the theater.
Talk about a corporate sponsorship. Cantor's Deli. Are you listening?
There's a good one.
Right? I want free corned beef sandwiches.
Guys, thanks so much for joining us, Ken. If you have any, want to find any information about Ken, go to kenwerther.com, WERTHER. Julie in Rochester, New York. I know you're on the phone already for Michael Noah Levine, so we'll be right back with you. And we'll be back on La La Land with Brett and James Mooney on CRN Digital Talk. Welcome back to La La Land on CRN Digital Talk. I am Brett Chapin. That's guest co-host James Mooney.
Hello, everybody.
Guys, we're talking today to performer Michael Noah Levine. If you have any questions for Michael Noah Levine, make sure you give us a call, guys, at 1-800-336-2225, 1-800-336-2225. They tell me to say the number twice because the first time the person is grabbing a pen.
Oh,
and the second time
a
they're
pen,
writing it down.
huh?
Yeah.
Not just their phone, tapping it in.
Or their phone, yeah. I don't know. Radio DJ 101. Anyway, Michael Noah Levine, thanks so much for joining us.
Of course.
You are a vocalist and actor, kind of been doing it all your life. How did it all kind of begin for you?
Well, in first grade, I was in a play. I was in Charlotte's Web at my school.
Nice.
And
Who did you play?
I played Avery, the little brother. The
Oh,
nice.
little brother. And actually, Jonah Hill, my childhood best friend and godbrother, was in the play too.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And
Who did he play? I'm just curious.
I don't know. He didn't
was
have
the web.
He didn't have as big a part of me as me though.
Of course.
Look at that.
Yeah. Shmona
Actually,
Hill.
Jake Gyllenhaal was in the play too.
Oh, wow.
Jeez, wizards.
Star
What high
of the
school did you go to?
It was an elementary school.
Or elementary
the
school,
Center
right.
for Early Education.
Oh, so it was a performing arts school.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Well, no.
No.
It's that big school that looks like a mall on the corner of La Cienega and Melrose,
Okay.
with the big
Oh, yeah.
clock tower with
Yeah.
the dangling children. That's really bizarre.
Oh, yeah. That's
Yeah.
you guys.
Help us.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. And so you started off there. You did Charlotte's Web, and you said, "Hey, I love this. This is for
I
me."
fell in love with theater, and
Are your parents in the business?
no,
Not at all?
not at all.
Wow.
Not at all. And I for the rest of my life, I lived and breathed musical theater.
Very cool.
Yeah.
And you actually later on went to a performing arts school. Is that correct?
Yes. In spring break of my junior year, I was in New York City, and I auditioned for Professional Performing Arts School, which is a public school in New York.
I had some really good friends that went there.
Yeah, and it's a lot of the performers that are in Broadway shows go there by day. And I auditioned, and they don't accept incoming seniors. And I was told that at my audition, and I was really bummed. And but they let me audition anyway. And right before my the end of my junior year in LA, I actually found out that I got in. And so I packed my bags and moved to New York with my mom, and got an apartment right across the street from school, and moved to New York my senior year.
And just started doing it.
Yeah.
I love
awesome.
that school. I spent many a day going there.
Awesome.
Most people leave school. Now, I would go in with my friends.
Yeah.
I play hooky. I would go to that school.
Yeah.
Very cool.
I would leave my school to go to that school.
Hey, you're having
Oh, it was
fun over
great.
there.
It was like as close to fame as you could get.
Yeah. Fame was actually
Yeah.
shot there.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Both the original Fame and the new Fame.
Oh, really?
The television series.
I
Right?
didn't know the
Yeah.
TV show was shot there. That's
Yeah.
very cool.
Parts of it, yeah.
Awesome. Well, we've actually got a question for you already from Julie in Rochester, New York. Hey, Julie.
Awesome.
Hi.
Hi.
Oh, and there goes my dog.
Thanks for
Sorry.
calling. Did you have a question for Michael?
Yes, I do. Hey, Mike, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I actually got some of your bracelets, and we love them.
Oh my God. Awesome.
Are you wearing
We're
some
gonna talk
now?
about
I
that
wanted
later.
to know, would you
Show
ever
the camera.
consider moving to New York to do a Broadway play, and what would you
Duh.
try out for? Like, what is your favorite play?
I'm
staying in LA.
I would love to be in Rent. Rent is off Broadway right now, and it's my dream. I would love to do
Roger?
it. No, I'd love to be Mark.
Oh,
Yeah. That'd be
Alright.
awesome.
Oh,
That'd
there
be,
you go.
That'd
Okay,
be
that's all. I
amazing.
just wanted to know if you would ever consider moving to New York City so I could come and see you.
Yes, obviously. That'd be awesome.
Amazing. Okay, well, good luck, and I love all of your YouTube videos, and your voice is amazing, and I can see you on Smash. You should go be on Smash. You'd be amazing.
Well, that would
can
be
see that.
that'd be awesome.
So thank you so much, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.
Oh, thanks, Julie.
thanks, Julie.
Okay, bye.
Bye-bye.
That's sweet.
She's really sweet.
Nice.
Yeah.
You know-
there's your jewelry and everything.
Yeah.
Your fans just love you. I mean, I got to say, they're really, really, really faithful.
Yeah, they're really, really great, and they're really supportive.
Awesome. And she was talking about your jewelry line. You actually have a line of jewelry that people can pick up at etsy.com/shop/MNLJEWELZ.
Yes.
Awesome. How did you get started with all that?
Well, I started making jewelry when I was little. There was like a store by me called the Bead Club, and I had a birthday party there too. And you could just go there and pick out beads, and there was like a staff that like helped you put them together. And I learned how to make jewelry at a really young age. And I actually have a dad who has clothing stores throughout LA, M. Frederick, and he would actually put my jewelry in his stores. And I actually have some of my jewelry is in his stores now too.
Wow.
And so it was like a hobby that has actually turned into a little business that I have now. And so I sell them online at that website that you just mentioned. And it's cool. And I wear them, and I get people, they compliment them, and I tell them where to go. And I have to make business cards because, it's kind of a long website to put out there. But
Are you wearing any of your jewelry now?
I am.
Can you put it maybe?
Here, Mike.
Bring it close to this camera and show.
Right there with my hairy arms.
Oh,
Put it by my mic.
Oh, by your mic.
there we go. Yeah, you can kind of see it.
Okay, I totally want one.
Very nice.
Some or
See
all of
that?
them.
Guys, if you want to check out Michael's jewelry,
Pretty, right?
So cool.
They're nice.
Thank you.
go to etsy.com/shop/MNLJEWELZ. Michael Noah Levine Jewels.
Yes.
Yes. And make sure you give us a call to talk to Michael, guys, at 1-800-336-2225. 1-800-336-2225. Check us out, too, on Facebook at facebook.com/LaLaLandTalk and twitter.com/LaLaLandTalk or indiegogo.com/LaLaLandTalk Season 2. And can you tell I'm talking real slowly? I'm trying to kill another 15 seconds here. We'll be back on La La Land with Brett and Mr. James Mooney, producer of Cabaret Idol, right here on CRN Digital Talk. Welcome back to La La Land on CRN Digital Talk. I'm Brett Chapin. That's James Mooney. We're talking with performer Michael Noah Levine. If you have any questions for Michael, make sure you give us a call at 1-800-336-2225. That's 1-800-336-2225. James, our guests are abusing me in the commercial breaks.
I know they are.
We're
Don't
having way
speak
too
to
much fun here.
You have to learn how to lie, buddy.
I know.
I'm going to teach you some stuff.
I know.
Not that
I
I
should've
lie
said after.
out there.
Right. At least you lie up instead of down. Awesome. We're talking with performer Michael Noah Levine, and we actually have another question for him. If you want to get right to that, this is Venus in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Hi, Venus.
I love Venus.
Hi, how are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing very good. Since you love musicals, I want to know what your all-time favorite musical you've ever done.
Good question.
Okay. I don't think I can choose just one. I have.
You choose two?
Yeah, I can choose two.
Can you narrow it down?
When I was 17, right when I moved to New York, right when I moved to New York, I was fortunate enough to do the first the first legal and authorized kids production of Les Mis. And it was really awesome, and we got to do it. We got to work with the people that were in it at the time on Broadway, and we got to perform on the Broadway stage with the Broadway set and work with the actors and have them as our mentors. And they all came to see our production, and we got to record the cast recording for the show, which is still being used as a practice CD for the kids that do it internationally, and it's done. I think it's been done something like 250,000 times now, throughout the world and whatnot. And so that was, I think that was my favorite thing that I've gotten to do, and I love Les Mis. But there's a show called Bear that's awesome that I got to see.
It is.
Yeah, that I got to see the original production in LA. when I was 16, and I fell in love with it, and I got to do it 3 years ago in LA. And there's a lot of me singing it on my YouTube page, which is my YouTube name is my YouTube name is Relatively Famous, and because I have a famous relative, get it?
Gotcha.
Relatively Famous.
I didn't know that. You have a famous relative?
Yeah.
Who's that?
Yeah. And
I didn't know who was.
Yeah.
He's not telling.
That's all right. You can skip it.
yeah.
Look at he's blushing.
I know. Go on. Moving on.
And so I love that show, Bear, and everyone that I turn on to it ends up loving it too. And you know what? It didn't get, in my opinion, it didn't get as big as it should have gotten.
Agreed.
Yes. That's probably, I think, the most underrated modern musical out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you know what happened to it is it was great in its original version,
Mm-hmm.
and then I got very close with its original creators, and what happened was they took like 2 years to refine it, and they refined it a little too much, and they changed it too much,
Mm-hmm.
and then it became a little it became too
Too slick.
they messed it up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like homogenized,
Well,
like chess.
You know
They
what
just-
I call it? I say they Broadway-tized it.
Yeah.
they Broadway-tized it, and what's a shame is that the version that is being licensed now, and the version that I did, that I got to perform, is not terrible, because actually the version that's out is not the version that played off Broadway. The version that played off Broadway, in my opinion, and I hope I don't get chastised for this, the version that played off Broadway was the performers were great, but the version sucked. But the album that's out was so auto-tuned and so like fake. And if only they could just go back in time and do what they originally and produce the magic that they created that I saw when I was 16, that like helped me become who I am, and helped me be comfortable in my own skin. That'd be amazing. But I think that ship has sailed, unfortunately.
Possibly.
Yeah.
You could always remount it, redo it, right?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
Carrie. I want to redo Carrie so badly.
They just
I know
did
they
it.
just did it off Broadway.
And
I want
it
to.
failed again.
I know. I want to do it though. I just want my hands on that.
That's a good
Just
one.
But yeah,
once.
Venus, those are
Yeah.
my favorite musicals.
Thank you.
Thanks for calling, Venus.
Venus is awesome, by the way.
Love you,
Just
Venus.
saying.
Love you all too.
And you actually have some stuff on SoundCloud.com too,
Mm-hmm.
/Michael and Levine. What's going on with that? What kind of songs are those?
They're covers, and let me tell you something. This may seem really lame and may make me sound like I'm a complete idiot, but I love Miley Cyrus's music. Okay?
Climb.
It's okay
All right,
with me.
all right.
Climb.
Okay.
Doesn't make you
Party in the USA.
She has really. Let me tell you something. She has really good writers, and so there's a couple covers of Miley Cyrus songs at SoundCloud.com/Michael and Levine. You can listen to them there, and you can download them there.
Check it out, guys. SoundCloud.com/Michael and Levine. And make sure you give a call to Michael and Levine, just like Venus did at 1-800-336-2225. 1-800-336-2225. We'll be back with more from Michael Noah Levine right here on La La Land today with Brett and James on CRN Digital Talk. Welcome back to La La Land on CRN Digital Talk. I'm Brett Chapin. That's James Mooney. We're talking today to Mr. Michael Noah Levine, performer. If you have any questions for Michael, make sure you give us a call at 1-800-336-2225. That's 1-800-336-2225. And we have a caller on the line. Is that your mom?
That's my mommy.
That's his mother.
Hi,
Just
Joan.
looking at the clock. I'm like, where are you, Boopsie?
Well, because I can't get into it. I have tried
my
for the
mother.
last 2 minutes to 6. I started
that.
getting in.
It's 'cause
and
we're
I can't
popular.
pop in, and I just went in on 10-2, and it popped right out again.
All right, Mom,
so
we
I
don't need
can't
the whole
get it.
story. There you are. We found
I'm
you.
just wishing you a lot of luck on your program.
Oh,
Have a
thank
good
you,
time.
Mommy.
I'm having a great time working with your son, Joan.
Oh, I'm glad to hear that.
I told him
and
I
I'm
give
sure
good
he's having
radio.
a double good time with you.
Oh, we're having the
Thank
best.
you.
All right, Mommy, love you.
Love you too.
Bye.
Thanks for calling.
Bye bye.
So cute.
Okay, that's the best thing I've ever heard.
That's pretty awesome.
In my life.
Gotta love the support from the family. Michael Noah Levine, 1-800-336-2225 with questions for him. What do you have going on in the future? You're kind of auditioning for things. You're getting yourself out there. How's that going so far?
It's going. I wish that there was more. I know you guys were talking about theater in LA and stuff like that. I just wish that there were more auditions and opportunities, especially things like because I audition for anything that comes my way, but it's like limiting because I have like 2 left feet and I can't dance, so it's hard.
Welcome to the club.
Yeah, I can't. It's funny too because I was just at this audition that went really well, but then they were like, okay, now we're gonna dance you, and I was like, okay, no. And it was really embarrassing, but I wish that there were more auditions out here.
It seems that we're on kind of a downswing with auditions. It's harder the last couple months. There seems to be less of them. I don't know why that. Do you know why that might be, Ken?
I think it's economic.
Yeah.
Quite honestly.
Just tantamount to production of anything right now.
That's it.
Sure.
I hate to use that,
Yeah.
the economy's in the dumper excuse yet again, but I was saying during the break also, we were talking about the fact that my business is much slower in 2012 than so far than it was in 2011. And I just think people, there's no such thing as a cheap production. And I just think people do not have it or cannot raise it.
Yeah. Hopefully that turns around and
I think it
more
will.
productions start going up pretty soon. And
Well, I'm a full supporter of build your own show.
Well,
You know what I mean? Find a space and do. You know what I mean? You don't have to wait for an audition. Get the book to a musical and do your own concert series somewhere.
Yeah.
and you did that with
That's what
Cabaret
I
Idol.
do.
Yeah. Very cool.
You just make your own show.
Maybe that's what I'll do.
You have to.
Why not? Here's a good question. We get a lot of actors in other areas of the country that are looking to come to LA and be an actor. What advice would you give them? If any.
Don't do it.
Yeah.
Stay home. It's competition.
I don't know. I would say just follow your dream and just don't let it bring you down. I don't know.
Makes a lot of sense.
Yeah,
Follow
that's
your dream.
good advice.
Keep going.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much for joining us. It's
You're
a pleasure
welcome.
to talk to you.
It's been great.
Yes. We scheduled this very last minute and it worked out perfectly.
Yeah.
Michael Noah Levine. Check him out, guys, on Twitter at twitter.com/Michael N. Levine. Or just Google him. He's got a lot of stuff going on. We wish Daisy luck in her show
Love
at
you, Daisy.
Christopherland
Love you.
tomorrow.
Love you, Daisy.
Love you, Miss Egan.
Check out the supporting cast, guys, at Theater Palisades.
Great show. Saw it last night.
Yes, theaterpalisades.com for any and all information about that. Next week, I'm just going to say it. It's not completely confirmed yet, but we are possibly having Tracy Toms on the show.
Wow.
Yeah, really excited. So until then, thanks so much for guest hosting James
My
Mooney
pleasure.
and
Had a
Ken
great
Werther.
time.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks for joining us on La La Land with Brett and James. We'll see you at the top.